It's late in the afternoon, Southampton. The RMS WARRIOR is sitting in the shipyard. It's 1921, a few years after World War I. The White Star Line had heavy losses, like the Titanic in 1912 and the Britannic in 1916. The only ships they had left were the RMS Olympic and some others. The RMS WARRIOR was made to be a way faster and stronger version of her, almost alike sister ships. To increase safety after two of White Star Line's most famous ships sinking, she was added with an extra amount of gantry davits, just like the Britannic, but way more. She was also way longer, so she could fit in a high amount. She was also equipped with gantry davits in the back and a helipad and pool, something that the White Star Line hasn't done, ever. She was sitting in the dock. It's now late in the evening. She'll be released tomorrow morning. It is now 8 a.m. in the morning in Southampton. Her release date is presumed to be today. People are very excited to watch, but something that they realize is that she's way too big to get off the dock. So they try many attempts to move her out, but to no avail. So we'll have to come back a few hours later. You'll see her sitting in the dry dock. It is now very late in the night. She will now be docked, by assistance, into the dry dock. Now being tugged into the dry dock, she will now be settled there to be painted and fitted with funnels. After she's done, she is now ready to be fitted with funnels, masts, and all that other stuff. The lights aren't obviously turned on yet. That will be changed soon. The dry dock is now raising her up, making her get ready to not be painted, since she's already been painted while she was in the launch. She's now being raised for her mast, ropes, and funnels. Oh yeah, and fixing her propellers. Some people stayed up to watch her get into the dry dock. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, but I guess people just do that. She's now ready to be added with funnels and all those other stuff. Her funnels are now added. This now just gives more of the appearance that she's just the Titanic, but just way better. Instead of having 4 funnels, she has 5. And then her mast, and finally she's fitted with her ropes. Perfect and just in time as the morning slowly starts coming closer. Her propellers were also fitted. They look very nice. This is probably the ship that has probably the most propellers that anyone's ever seen, with an amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Isn't that a weird coincidence? Now she has 5 funnels. Wait a sec. No way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. I almost counted 6. Whoopsies. Anyway, she's now ready to be launched. Many people watch. Now being lowered back into the water, people are very excited to see her sail the seas on her maiden voyage. This is probably the biggest thing in White Star Line history. Doors are opening. The doors are now open. It's time. The RMS WARRIOR is now sitting in docks 25 and 26. Her maiden voyage isn't today. She'll be sitting in the dock, waiting out the storm. Her passengers will eventually begin boarding, and she'll be heading to Halifax for her first ever voyage. After the storm ended, the RMS Warrior started to begin boarding passengers for her maiden voyage to Halifax. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, she will now depart for her maiden voyage. This is probably the biggest and most famous maiden voyage that will be throughout the history books. He is now sailing out of dock. Her horn will eventually sound later. With her horn sounded, she now heads towards Halifax. She takes a different route to make sure she avoids any storms. It's clear skies for a while. It'll soon become nighttime. Her engines pump. She's going at a speed about 25 knots. Faster than her sister ship's speed of 22 and 21 knots. She's the White Star Line's fastest ship. She could arrive at Halifax as the estimated time of at least, maybe, 5 days and 6 hours, 24 minutes. As evening falls, the beautiful ship seen from the coast of other islands is seen. Her horn is sounded again. Halifax may be far, but with her sister ships already heading, sister ship, with one of her sister ships, the Olympic, already doing trips to America, the RMS Warrior could do this no sweat. After avoiding the storm, she heads back onto the same route, making sure to avoid any dangers along the way. Her design is mostly focused on elegance. Night falls. Now sailing to Halifax with her lights, she illuminates the night. Thankfully, tensions in Europe aren't extremely catastrophic, so mines are low in the Atlantic, but they still could be anywhere. If she does take a hit from a mine, she could be able to handle it with tons of watertight doors and her modernized pumps that pump out water way quicker. She's a mix of elegance and speed. She has, 3 grand staircases. One in the very front, one in the kind of middle of the ship, and one in the very back. She also has a pool. People lounge out. Adults sit on the back of the ship and chat, laugh, as the ship sails to Halifax. Torpedoes are heard, but due to her high speed, she'll be able to dodge them. Now sailing to Halifax, it might take a while. People on board walk out on deck, some people staying up to watch the beautiful scenery, some people on the promenade deck just watching the amazing scenery. Some people sit on the bow and watch over as she slowly sails over to Halifax. Her beautiful elegance, matched with her incredible speed, makes her the one and only most loved White Star Line ships. She may not have a lot of things to go by, but she looks like she could handle anything. Some people deem her unsinkable. People say to not say that, since after people called the Titanic unsinkable, it sunk. Some people say it's unsinkable that due to its large size and its modernized tech, it will be able to withstand any dangers that come up ahead. But that's what some people say. Some others say it could sink, but those are just some theories. She's now sailing to Halifax with her fast speed. It's estimated that since they're skipping a storm, their time will get reduced to 5 days, 2 hours, and 30 minutes, which is way better. And four-bladed propellers might slow her down a bit. Some people say that less bladed propellers make her go faster. But she's still one of a kind. She's still a very great ship. Reports say that no icebergs or any enemy torpedoes are spotted. And she continues sailing like normal. It is now 4 a.m. She continues sailing. She's getting pretty close to Halifax, almost arriving. Her gantry davits, large in size, trail over the horizon with their huge shadows. Her ship, with many of those funnels, smoking out steam, all that coal getting released into the air. Many people start waking up a bit early to be able to get some of the dinner and other snacks on the ship. There's a few rooms, mostly third class, get in the back of the ship on the top to make sure not to lose tons of survivors. They make sure not to put tons of rooms on the bottom, but a few third class rooms are put at the kind of very bottom of the ship. There's a high amount of boilers in the ship, but nobody knows the estimated amount. She continues sailing, proudly. Now arriving in Halifax, she sounds her horn. Now being tugged by some of the tenders to her dock. It's now 7 a.m. Mostly a lot of people are waking up at this time. People cheer and are happy. They scream proudly as one of White Star Line's biggest ships arrive in Canada. People are even surprised to hear that she dodged a torpedo, something that some ships couldn't really achieve. Well, minus the Britannic dodging a torpedo because they missed, and also shooting at one and exploding it. But nobody knows if that's really true. The ship, now sailing into the docks, is now ready for her second voyage to Cherbourg, France. Now sailing into dock, people cheer happily. Music at the dock starts playing, and people are overjoyed to see her slowly sailing in. The White Star Line's giant beast sailing straight into Canada. One of the craziest, marvelous ships anyone has ever seen. Tensions in Europe do begin to rise, and the White Star Line proposes to convert her to a troop ship, but that idea will have to wait for a few years. Now getting ready to dock at docks 3 and 4. People are excited to see their family members from Great Britain. or people getting on board the ship to head to France. It's now 1933, and the rise of intentions, especially in Germany, with the new rise of the new German leader. The British and the French government both make sure that they'll stay safe. They make sure to up their defenses, and they also do prepare ideas to convert some of their ships into troop ships. And one of the proposed ideas is to convert the Warrior into a troop ship. Now sitting in the dock, the RMS Warrior is a British ship that just sailed to Canada. People are very shocked to see that she also dodged torpedoes. She is now crowned as probably the best ship in the White Star Line history, being the fastest and also the most luxurious. Tensions in Europe do rise, and the British Navy actually asked the White Star Line if they could borrow the ship for the Royal Navy. The White Star Line is still deciding on that, but who knows? They'll have to wait for another day. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first part of this series. After learning how to realistically make a White Star Line look like a White Star Line ship, I just decided to make this series because I was bored, and I do kind of miss working with the TYRANNIC, especially after I canceled the Red Titan series. So could you please subscribe to me? This took a lot of clips, failures, and other shenanigans. But I hope that I will be able to work with the TYRANNIC. But school is getting way closer now. It's August, and my school starts very soon. And I'm gonna be delayed with my object show as well. Sorry, but if you could, can you please subscribe? Thanks. Bye!